Have to add the. You ready for this?
I don't wanna overthink, so watch it chill, watch a movie and drink. Look around, I don't see people who think anymore. More tech.
You can do that. I'm not doing that.
All right.
Ready when you are.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey guys, welcome back to Tell Me More About It. I'm your host Vernon, and this is
Larry.
And today we have a good one for you guys. So we're going to be talking about what to do when you don't know what your passion is. And this is something a lot of us struggle with, and we're excited to get into this.
We are.
Now, how we do this is we have different segments, and then we get to the main one at the end. So if you're in a rush and you don't have time to listen to the full podcast,
Zoom to the main subject.
yeah, because this is a good one. This is something that Larry and I have personally been dealing with for a while now.
And we've had some people who've been talking to me about it who are concerned about it.
Yeah. But first, we're going to try to make you laugh a little bit, and then we're going to get into this. So, Larry, take it away.
Our first segment is Would You Rather. In this segment, I just asked Vernon, would you rather questions, and we see what his answer is. And also you guys can participate too. So drop some comments on which one would you choose. And if you're listening to this on a streaming platform, just listening, guys. Listening. Would you rather every shirt you wear be kind of itchy, or only be able to use one ply of toilet paper
For how long?
the rest of your life?
I'd rather the shirt. The heck? You know how quickly I go through toilet paper? Just blowing my nose, I get like 2 handfuls.
Boy, that's the mark of death. Either one.
I'm gonna use a rag.
All right, another one. We usually do like 3 of these guys because they kind of go by fast. Yeah. Would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe? I'm riding a giraffe. Be a tall.
No, I'm okay with that. Probably a donkey. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going with the donkey. I don't want to ride it. How am I going to get up there? A ladder?
Yep, every time.
No. I'm going with the donkey.
All right. The last one. Would you rather have to read out loud every word you read or sing every word you say out loud?
I'd rather read out loud. I read out loud sometimes now. I'll just be by myself. I'll read out loud.
Okay.
But I'd rather do that.
So, you guys heard all 3. What would you do? The first one was, would you rather every shirt you wear be kind of itchy or only be able to use one ply of toilet paper? That's a tough one.
People would be stinking, that's for sure.
They would be stinking for sure.
Oh, man.
The second one, would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe? And tell why, guys, in the comments below. Say why. And the last one is, would you rather have to read out loud every word you read or sing everything you say out loud?
Yeah.
You
And
don't be like High School Musical. And I will always.
that definitely wasn't in High School Musical. We're all in it
Together. Oh my God. And we know the words too. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen every single one.
Facts.
But
That one girl was bad.
yeah, no, you're not getting
You
me
be in
like
trouble.
that. Anyway, guys. So our next segment is the Standout Story of the Week. So what this is we're pretty much going to find something that relates to the main topic that we're talking about for that week. So today it's going to be Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns making it to the Western Conference Finals. Now,
Big ballers.
if you guys don't know who Chris Paul is, he's an NBA point guard who's been in the league for over 15 years. It has taken this man 15 years to get to the Western Conference Finals. Talk about passion. And now some of you might say, I mean, he's in the NBA, he's making money. I mean, passion, he's doing it because he's making money. No. This man is, in NBA years, he's very old. 15 years in the NBA is a long time. And he's finally making it to the Western Conference Finals. And he's had to be persistent and persistent and persistent. And the only way to be persistent like that and continuously try, failing time after time, is to love what you do, having passion for it. Think about that, seriously. It took him 15 years to get to this point. Waking up early, practicing, staying consistent, training, doing whatever he had to do to make it. That's passion. And if you're doing something that you are not passionate about, that you don't love, there is no way you're going to be able to see the big result, the place that you want to be at. There's no way. So, Larry, you got anything to say about this?
I just hope D-Book and Chris Paul win a ring. I want to see them win a ring.
D-Book is cold.
Man, he's dropping 40, 30s.
Oh,
And the way he dropped points, like mid-range, three-pointers, layups, he just got the bag. He got it.
yeah. Guys, if you guys like the NBA or just basketball in general, let us know who your favorite player is. I don't know who mine is right now, but Chris Paul, I'm hoping for him, man. He's been in the league a while. I've been following him a long time.
It would definitely solidify his legacy if he won a ring. And LeBron not in it no more, so he definitely got a chance. And imagine Chris Paul versus Kyrie in the finals. That's a matchup.
I don't know if they can beat Brooklyn.
Boy, I don't know either because they don't have a bench like that. But if Devin Booker went off, he might.
That's true. That is true. So now we're going to get to the main topic, the moment you have all been waiting for. And that is how to go about finding your passion if you really don't know what it is. So I have some stats here that I want to start off with because it kind of surprised me, but it didn't at the same time because I've dealt with it personally. So across America, 45% of workers say they are satisfied or extremely satisfied with their jobs, which 45%, I feel like you would rather have that at 80%, 90%. There's a lot of people working out there. But then this very next stat says only 20% feel passionate about their jobs. So that's contradicting itself. You're satisfied, but you're not passionate about it, which probably means low quality work, which really isn't helping anybody. You should be doing what you're passionate about. So I'll let Larry start off here, but this it stood out to me because it's just like 20%. That's extremely low. And I know some people, they have to live, they have to do different things, but a lot of the time I hear people make the excuse that, hey, I have to provide, I have to do this and that, I don't have time to follow my dreams or find something I'm passionate about. And I honestly don't believe in that. I feel like every single person has the same amount of time in each day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find time to work on your passion so that you can make that your career. But if you don't start, it's impossible for you to get to that career that you're passionate about. So, Larry, what do you got to say about this topic?
I just want to piggyback off what you said real quick. Exactly, guys. You shouldn't have, and I hate to say this because I don't want to sound harsh, but you shouldn't really have no excuse for not doing your passion. Like my favorite rapper, he worked 2 jobs, and then around 3 in the morning he would start rapping, and he would do that every day. Vernon he was working, and then on the side he was building his brand and his business on the side. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I was in school working and then doing music on the side. You gotta sacrifice something, but there should be no excuse why you're not doing your passion. And if you haven't found your passion like the topic is today, I want you to know it's okay. You know what we're missing, bro? We're missing some water. That's what I need. But and we're here to help you figure out how you can go about finding your passion. So the first step I believe the first step I believe that you should take is self-awareness. Self-awareness, figuring out what you are about, what you like to do, what you've always been good at, I believe is the first step to help you figure out what you want to do or what you're passionate about. Write those down, and then once you got a list, figure out what on the list, which ones you think you're the best at, and go from there. But know that the things that you wrote, you can always grow in your skills, and it's much easier to pursue something that draws out your talent and traits. So try to pick something that you think is the best suited for you. Then that just goes back to just knowing yourself.
Yeah.
You got anything to say about that?
Yeah, those are some good points. 'Cause with anything that you do, you have to have a plan. You have to take action. So that's pretty much what I got from what Larry said. You have to do something in order to start working towards figuring out your passion. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you don't do that, then I think the biggest thing I think for people to understand is you can think about something for a very long time, and you can go years and years and years of your life just saying, dang, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, and time passes you by. Because a lot of people feel like they have to be at a certain point, they have to know something about everything to get into it. And most entrepreneurs, people that are doing what they want, following their passions, that's not how it goes at all. It's pretty much you learn a certain amount and then you just start taking action, going. That's how it works. So, were you going to say anything else about this topic? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also believe you find your passion by experience. And, it's not going to happen overnight. You usually find your passion in small steps. So, what I want you guys to start doing is, instead of living your life all at once, trying to figure out what am I going to do with the rest of my life, start living your life moment by moment, discovering your passion in a series of small steps. For example, you might hear about something in a book or by a friend. Then you go to that class or an event. Then you try it out yourself. Then you try it again. Then it becomes a hobby. Then you're telling your friends all about it. And before you know it, you found you found your calling in life. But notice you didn't get there overnight. So instead of worrying about what you're going to do for the rest of your life, worry about what you're going to do for the rest of the day. Try to enjoy your day. Find things that you like doing for that day. And eventually, you'll get there. I'll just talk about me, for example. I didn't just jump into music like all of a sudden, like I'm gonna become a rapper. No. For the first like 2 or 3 years, I was just watching my friends in the studio just rap. And they tried getting me to rap, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm a hooper. So I was just sitting there and watch them make music all day. Next step, I finally hopped on a song with them. I showed my friends that they said it wasn't half bad. So I changed my major. I started writing every day in my dorm room. After I started writing in my dorm room every day, I changed majors again because I didn't like what I was doing, but I was still writing every day. I began to write poetry. I started reading Tupac, and eventually I got to a point where it became my career, but again, it wasn't overnight. So I just want you guys to understand that try to find what you like doing for the day. And writing made me happy. So I feel like if you find out what you like for the day, you can find out what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I also feel like a lot of the times people feel like you have to, because in society it feels like this is what you do, this is who you are, you can't do anything else, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I think people are put on this earth and they have multiple talents, multiple skills that they can give to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the last podcast, Larry and I mean, we're hosts on this podcast. Never did I think that I would be doing this, but yet I am. Now, I also have a digital marketing company. I'm passionate about that as well. So those are two different things that I'm very passionate about. So I would be hurting myself by not pursuing both of them. So don't take this as just finding one passion because you have multiple. And the only way that you get closer to it is by trying new things. And who I learned that from was Gary Vee. Now, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but his philosophy is it's hard to hear because a lot of people want to skip all the trial and error and just find out magically what they want to do, which is just unrealistic. And then there's people that follow the way that he does it. And what he says is, hey, if you have an interest in something at all, just go do it. especially for people that you may be living at home with your parents still, or you don't have all the financial obligations. You need to, every single day, you need to be trying what it is that you want to do, because you have time. That's the biggest thing. Like Larry and I talked about this in a podcast earlier, but once you start having kids and getting families and all that stuff,
More responsibilities.
more responsibilities. So you don't have as much time. So you have to provide, and then you're working at 3 a.m. versus when you don't have that responsibility, you can just wake up in the morning, get it done, get to bed at a good time, repeat, and keep doing it that way. So it's possible for anyone, but I personally feel like it's easier when you're in your 20s to 30s, because you don't necessarily have all that obligation. And if you are someone who has that family and whatnot, you can still pursue this stuff. Don't use that as an excuse. You only have one life. And this is something that I heard from Grant Cardone. Though I don't endorse everything that he stands for, I do listen to him, and he does give some valuable information. And he said, the only way you can fail is if you quit. Think about that. The only way you can fail is if you quit. So if you keep staying persistent, eventually you're going to figure it out. And I've learned that personally with my business. So there's days when I haven't been as passionate about digital marketing. There's days when Larry and I didn't feel like doing a podcast, but it's still our passion. We still enjoy doing it. That's the difference. That's really the big difference between doing something that you're satisfied with and doing something that's your passion. Because if you're just satisfied with something, you're going to burn out. I was working at a job for 4 years, working 4:30 to 1 a.m. Sometimes we worked 4:30 to 3 a.m. or what have you. And
He was working, y'all. He had him working.
I was burnt, and I hated it. Like, I hated doing that. So I was like, I have to make a decision. I can keep doing this or just go to another job that I don't want to do, and I'm going to get burnt out the same way, or I can start working on my passion. So at night and during the day, I would study, go to work, study. I finally got to the point where I left my job, but then I had to do DoorDash just to continue to make money so I could continue to support the business. And even to this day, I'm still not at a point where I can just be like, oh, let me just chill a little bit. I'm still grinding every single day, but I'm willing to do that because it's my passion. So my closing statement on this topic is get started. And you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again. Get started. Because whatever you're trying to do, chances are someone else is already doing it. Now, I'm not someone that believes in comparing yourself to other people. So I'll say this. You need to get started because you're going to fail over and over and over again. But you're going to learn. And the more you fail, the more you learn, the closer you get to that end result that you want. For me, selling has been the hardest thing that I've ever done. I couldn't imagine myself getting on the phone with someone trying to sell my business, telling them why they need to use the business. Because I know they need to use it, but they're like, I don't know you, I don't want to pay you. So it's difficult, but it's something that I've gotten better and better and better at, and I'm able to start getting clients. Then they see my service, and now they're like, dang, it shouldn't even been that difficult for you to get me. I should have just went ahead and did it because this is working. So I say that to say, follow your passion. Stop doing stuff that you don't want to do, because if you don't do anything to change it, that's going to be your life. You're just going to be miserable. And then you're going to look back on your life and say, I should have taken action. That's literally all you have to do is take action.
That's all you got to do.
And you'll be where you want to be. Trust me. Larry and I are proof.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine where I'd have been at if I just kept saying, oh, I want to start getting into poetry and rapping, but I never started. Anything you want to do, he has a good point. You have to start it. That's what you have to do. Even if you're not even sure if you're passionate about it, how do you know until you try? You don't know. So
Yeah. You got any closing statements? Anything you want to tell
Nope.
the people?
No, that's all, guys. I told you guys my spiel of it. I think you just have to know yourself, and you're not gonna fully know yourself. The whole life is about learning to know who I am. So just continue to know yourself and to figure out who you are.
Yep. And if you guys like this video or like just this episode in general, whether you're streaming it, just listening to the audio, or you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, review, leave comments. We want your feedback. We want to know if we're giving you valuable information, because at the end of the day, that's our goal. We want to help build up a community that supports each other while helping you pursue your dreams. So let us know. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
We just wanted each other. Friends turn to enemies, enemies to rivals, rivals to rifles. These people trifle with the wrong things. Now they lost. Santa's turned into Jack Frost. I just can't help but see the cost of life.